ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this. It's another random review for you guys, and seeing as I've never done this one before and you guys seem to enjoy it last year when I did 1 and 10, I thought this year we would do WrestleMania 2. WrestleMania 2. What the world has come to is the slogan for this one, which isn't great. To me, that sounds like, oh, is this what it's come to? You know, that it sounds like, I assume it's meant to be that the showrunners say, oh, well, the whole world has come to see this, but I don't think that one works. It's April the 7th, 1986, and 40,000 fans have come to watch from 3 different venues. Oh yes, it's the Nassau Coliseum in New York City, it's the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago, and lastly, it's the LA Memorial Sports Arena in some place. Was it a success? Well, let me tell you this one before we go on. This has never been repeated ever. So that should tell you everything you should need to know. Really should. Classic 80s wrestling. It really is, because the first few rows are lit, but the whole arena is shrouded in darkness. It gives it a very 80s house show feel to it. How's that one sound? Vince McMahon is on commentary in New York. He introduces Susan Bird as his co-host. She is Susan St. James. I have no clue who she is or why she's famous. Ray Charles sings the American National Anthem, complete with pics of troops, sunsets, troops, office workers, and more troops. It makes you wonder if America would just implode in on itself if it wasn't at war with someone, wouldn't it? Must show those troops every fucking year. I need to clarify something. I'm not anti-America. Truly, I'm not. It's just I'm a British guy, and the emphasis on these videos is always on the military. I don't understand why you do that, America. We love our military. Our military's fucking great. Well, stop fucking going to war with people. You don't need to have such a massive military, will you? Idiots. Gene Mean talks to us. He's in Chicago about the Battle Royal that's coming up. He says, and I quote, "You can cut the electricity with a knife." Now, sorry to steal one of V1's ones, but that would quite literally kill you dead. He hands over to Roddy Piper, who is getting ready for his boxing match later on tonight with Mr. T. Can't wait for that one. Can you? Paul Orndoff fought Don Muraco to a double count-out in our opening contest. Main event to jerking the curtain for Mr. Wonderful. Hooray. The bell goes, and we get the audio of both men cutting a promo before the match. That's a bit odd, because there's no commentary. So you start thinking to yourself, right, are these two, is this pre-recorded and these two are commentating over their match or something like that? Crowd are hot for Orndoff. The highlight of this match is a nice arm drag reversal sequence, but they go outside and are both counted out in 4 minutes, and you start going, oh, that's nice. We don't get the official announcement because we have to go backstage, to see to hear a promo from Mr. T. He doesn't mention his mother once, which is very, very disappointing. They then announce the result of the previous match while he's talking. It's fucking ridiculous. You've got Mr. T gassing on about stuff that isn't his mother, and which is odd. It's like, just, you're going to mention mother. Come on. But yeah, they announced, you got Fink doing the ring announcing while he's talking. It's one of those times, this happens quite a few times on this pay-per-view, where it's not as polished as you expect it to be. It's only the later WrestleManias where they're still finding the feet, you know? Next up, this was a nothing match. If you want to go half a star, go for it, but you can't go any higher than that, and it's more than likely going to be a dud. Next is Randy Savage defeating George the Animal Steele to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Steele is in love with Miss Elizabeth. He is mega over with this crowd, unbelievably so. Savage, right, at one point gets hit with a bunch of flowers, which he sells, and it's one of those, right, that wouldn't hurt unless it's like a bunch of roses or something and the thorns get you or something like that. Steele bites open a turnbuckle pad. I know, I was shocked as well. But he makes the mistake of going after Liz, meaning the Macho can get the elbow. But, and this is important, Steele kicks out of it. The first person to kick out of Macho's elbow drop off the top. The crowd pop like bandits for that. Macho Man rolls up, complete with Healy feet on the ropes to get the win. Same as the opener. If you want to go half a star, be my guest. Nothing more. Nothing more. In Chicago, Gene Mean talks to Big John Studd and some guy called Bill Fralick. Not a single clue who he is, I'm afraid. Studd says that Fralick has no class. Yes, folks, a wrestler there telling a footballer that he has no class. Fink, while this promo is going on, Fink announces the winner of the last match. So you've got the sound clash. It's ridiculous. Jake Roberts defeating George Wells in a nothing match. Yep, sorry folks, not a clue of who George Wells is. He gets more offense in than I was expecting. In fact, this match goes 3 minutes 15, yeah? And 3 minutes of that is George Wells on the offense. And then literally, quite literally, out of nowhere, a DDT gets the win for Jake Roberts. Who fucking Ray? Damien, the big python, is put on top of Wells, who throws up. He starts foaming at the mouth. I don't know if it's because he's so scared of the snake or I don't know. We get a video package for the Mr. T versus Rowdy Roddy Piper boxing match. Orton attacked T. That's it. Seriously, on Saturday night's main event, if this video package is to be believed, if nothing else, they would have Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. T in the ring, sort of circling around each other, and Bob Orton, bam, back him around the back. And that's that. In LA, Jesse Ventura interviews Hogan, whose bandana looks weird. Do you remember when you were a kid and you would tie your school tie around your head and try and look like Rambo and that? It looks like that, but it looks weird. Anyway, Hogan has fucked ribbed and is doing it tonight for America. Fucking yes, go Hogan. Fink introduces to Joan Rivers. She's the guest ring announcer for the boxing match. Because I don't know about you, but when I think of boxing, I think of Joan Rivers. Oh yeah. Fuck's sake. She introduces the judges. Some guy, and some other guy. Mr. T defeats Rowdy Roddy Piper in a boxing match. Just writing that one sentence there, Mr. T defeats Rowdy Piper in a boxing match, makes me sad. Makes me not care. Not interested in boxing match in the slightest on wrestling pay-per-view. I never am. And even worse, this is a worked boxing match. The punches that they do would kill them in real life if this was boxing. Naturally, both men are knackered after the second round. This one goes 4 rounds. A body slam on fucking Mr. T gets Piper disqualified because of reasons. Hated every single second of it. It's not a wrestling match, so I can't rate it. But it's one of the things that drags this pay-per-view down good and proper. And that's that. The New York section is done. 1 star out of a possible 15. It would be very, very poor of me to not mention Susan St. James at this point, because she is beyond irritating. She has two little word sentence to add to this pay-per-view. She uses it a lot, and that is to say, uh-oh, 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 every couple of seconds. That's all she contributes. It's so grating, it's not even funny. I promise you. I hadn't seen this pay-per-view for a long, long time. Back in the day, about at least 10 years ago, I had. Do you remember the WrestleMania box set? It was 1 to 15, all videos, and it was like this big, fucking huge grip. And I used to have one of those. I sold that easily in 2006, easily, which means I haven't watched WrestleMania 2 since at least then, and I had legitimately forgotten about the uh-oh, and I made a point of not watching the OSW review of this one first. I mean, I remember the electricity line, but other than that, I was like, I'm not prepared to watch their review of it, so I was completely unprepared for the amount that woman says the words uh-oh. So bad. Anyway. She's hot though, so there's something. We go on to Chicago, where our commentators are Gorilla Monsoon, Mean Gene, and some birds. Jesus Christ, another one called Kathy Lee Crosby. She says this is the first wrestling show she's ever seen in person. That's a good start, isn't it, Kathy? Cheers for that. Fabulous Moolah defeats Velvet McIntyre in a nothing match to retain the Women's Championship. Neither women get an entrance as they're already in the ring when we cut to Chicago. The crowd loud, but the only thing of note in this match is, well, there's 2 if you want to be fair. 1, there's lots of snapmares, and 2, Velvet McIntyre misses a splash off the top rope. Moolah rolls her up, gets the win at 1 minute and 00 seconds. 1 minute dead. Fucking awful dud. Corporal Kirchner, who is a guy who I'd completely forgotten about. Just, there's nothing in there. Defeat Nikolai Volkoff in a flag match. Volkoff sings the Russian national anthem before the bell, obviously, and he gets ridiculous amount of heat because we're still in the Cold War, baby, America, Guys, One of the most obvious blade jobs I have ever seen in wrestling occurs in this match, right? Kirchner is launched headfirst into the ring post. Volkoff bites the Corporal, but at the same time, while he's biting him, he's blading him. And then, just to make it that little bit worse, he gets into the ring and you see him tucking the blade into his pants. How do I know this, yeah? Because my wrestling-hating missus is in the room at the time, and she goes, "Did you just blade?" And it's like, right, if she spotted it, it must be so obvious that, you know, anyone can see it. And of course I'd spotted it as well, but I didn't want to say anything. It's like, you know, written it down, obviously. Anyway, Volkoff gets his back in the ring and tucks blade in his pants, like I say. Referee is bumped, so the Corporal can intercept Classy Freddie Brashley throwing his cane at Volkoff, catches it, uses it, gets the pin. No idea why this is a flag match, because neither flag came into play at all. I'm pretty certain that a flag match is the first person to get the flag down, but apparently not. It's just pinfall, and then you can wave your flag, which you probably would have done anyway, but fuck it. Yeah, and the only highlight of this match is the punches. And no, sorry, that's not a highlight at all. The only highlight of this match is the most obvious blade job you'll ever see. Seriously, if nothing else, go and watch this match of this pay-per-view just to see it so you can go, Jesus Christ, that was obvious. Andre the Giant wins a Battle Royal. It's not just a Battle Royal. It's the WWF versus the NFL. Now, as a Brit who has absolutely no interest in football whatsoever, this isn't going to interest me at all. It means that it's a fuck ton of football players that I've never heard of. Let's go through them. Have you heard of any of these men? Jimbo Colbert, Ernie Holmes, Harvey Martin, Bill Fralick, we've heard of him from earlier on, William Perry, and Russ Francis. I've heard of one of these men. That man is William Perry. I've heard of him because he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. And that's it, all right? So I'm expecting a truly standout performance from the man they call the Fridge in this one. If for the WWF, we have King Tonga, which of course is Meng, Jim Brunzell, Tony Atlas, Pedro Morales, Dan Spivey, Hillbilly Jim, Ted Arcidi, Brian B. Blair, the Iron Sheik, Bruno Sammartino, Big John Studd, Bret the Hitman Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and Andre the Giant. All good. Oh my fucking days. Jean Mean introduces some old bird. She's called Claire Peller. She's found the beef, or what? Where's the beef? Apparently, she is this woman who used to say, "Where's the beef?" or something. I don't know who she is. She has no clue how to use a microphone. Not one clue. But I need something to use as my microphone. Here. Have some mild chili powder, right? She does it, right? Normally, you were talking to the microphone, blah, 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 blah. She does this. So you don't actually hear what she says. Fucking great. So I have no clue why she's there. She doesn't add anything to the product. She doesn't actually do anything. Not a single soul bought this pay-per-view because of who she is or why she's there. Where is the beef? Who cares? What does that even mean? Someone who's American, who isn't upset about me ranting about the bit about your fucking troops, let me know in the comments down below what this means, because I'm just too lazy to come figure it out. The referee is called Dick Buttkiss. I'm 32, and that's still funny. Naturally, the Chicago Bears players get monster pops. Monstrous. Perry gets huge pops when he does, well, anything. The noise when Studd dumps him out is ridiculous, massive boos. But then Fridge offers the hand. Oh, no hard feelings, no hard feelings. Pulls John Studd out. You can't do that. That's not in the rules. Monster pop again. It is against the rules. It goes down to Andre versus the Hart Foundation. Andre knocks Jim the Anvil to the outside and then picks up Bret Hart and calmly throws him at Anvil to win the match. Kathy says he truly is the Giant. Like, what does that mean, Kathy? Match was okay, I suppose, if nothing else because of how hot the crowd were for the football players. It's ridiculous. Back in New York, we hear from Piper. He cuts a mildly racist promo on Mr. T, saying how he didn't have to cut his hair like an Indian or black his face up. That's like going, what? When asked for her opinion, Susan St. James says, "I think that sounds like a bunch of blarney to me." Blarney. Blarney. Is that the Blarney Stone? I think she's trying to say baloney, but it comes out as blarney. Oh well. At least it isn't Otto, is it? What do you think, Susan? Uh-oh. Back to Chicago, Gene talks to Colbert, who says he was cheated out of victory. And then Sheiky says that, this is weird, Sheiky says that wrestlers are better than football players. Now, we don't get a football match, so that's not really a fair comparison. If we had it right, so tonight, you're going to fight, you football players are going to fight in a battle royal to see who wins. And then tomorrow, we're going to have a wrestlers versus football players football match. Who wins that one? No, it's just that wrestlers are better at wrestling than football players. Who'd have thunk it? Next, match of the night. British Bulldogs defeating the Dream Team in a good match to win the tag team titles. The Dream Team is Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus not the Barber Beefcake. They have Johnny Valiant in their corner. The Bulldogs are Davey Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid. They have Lou Albano and fucking Ozzy Osbourne with them. Ozzy Osbourne in a peach suit. Gene Mean says that Ozzy is from Manchester, which is a very, very big lie. Just listen to his accent, boys and girls. He's from Birmingham. He really is. Bulldogs have been chasing the Dream Team for fucking ages, and here is their title shot. We'll go through this one because it's one of the few matches where you actually can, because there's something to care about. Valentine and Kid starts off having a slugfest. Bulldog controls Valentine with quick tag. Bulldogs control Valentine with quick tags. Kid is so fast, it's fucking incredible. He hits a perfect snap suplex and tags in Davey, who does a suplex of his own. Valentine goes outside to catch his breath, doesn't tag in Beefcake, which is odd. You're just like, right, if you don't catch your breath, go and tag your partner in, you catch your breath, and you can come back in now. So it's like, yeah, because Beefcake's shit, so I'll do it all. Fuck it. So it's all good. He controls with the head to the midsection, and clean comes Beefer. He gets press slammed by Davey, who then tags in Kid. Quick moves and tags. One move and attack. One move and attack by the Bulldogs. Brilliant. Davey gets two off a really nice fisherman suplex. Oh, dear me. Pressed down too far. Valentine regains control with a suplex of his own, but when Dynamite comes in, he lays in some beats. The Dream Team double team for a moment, but Dynamite gets a backbreaker for two. Valentine gets a fucking gorgeous looking pile driver for a great near fall. Referee loses control as all four men in, and this allows Valentine to take control on Davey as Davey misses a charge and goes shoulder first into the turnbuckle. And you sat there going, right, work the fucking arm. Valentine, of course, is a fucking pro. So he works the arm, basically. He tags in Beefer. Beefer hammerlocks the arm and then rams the arm into the turnbuckle. That's really nice. We like that. Valentine in. He hits a perfect-looking shoulder breaker. Davey goes up top. Dynamite whips Valentine into the... Sorry, Davey's able to escape. He goes up top, but Valentine whips Dynamite into the corner. So Davey goes knocked to the outside. But then, this is the only complaint about this match. Literally, out of nowhere, Dynamite Kid gets a roll-up on Valentine, and that gets the win at 13 minutes and 3 seconds. I really enjoyed this match, and I'll tell you why I did. Because most tag team matches from time immortal have one guy playing the face in peril, he gets the hot tag, the face is clean house, and then they win. Or the heels cheat to win. It's that simple. It's the standard generic tag team match that I always call it, don't I? The standard 2-star match. This match didn't follow that. It was a completely different formula, and it made it feel great. It made it feel different. I really like that. Valentine carried his half of the match because Beefer did nothing. This was basically a handicap match in all intents and purposes. It really was. It's easy to forget just how fucking good Dynamite Kid really, really was when he was on form, because fucking Christ, he was good here. So fast, so quick, so smooth and crisp, and everything that he does looks great. It's also crazy in a match like this to look at Davey Boy Smith, knowing what he will become in the future. He's a big guy at this point, and it's so strange knowing that in 6 years' time he will be double as wide as he is at this moment. You're like, wow, Roids, baby. After the bell, Crosby interviews Ozzy Osbourne, who did nothing at all in this match. Absolutely nothing. She asked him, he says this will be the first of many times he'll be in the Bulldogs corner. Now, as far as I know, he's never been in the Bulldogs corner ever again. So just lies, basically. Nice. Best match of the night. And that's Chicago done. The ring announcer, but was really getting on my nerves because he would repeat people's names. So let's say, for argument's sake, in that match, Greg Valentine. Greg Valentine was announced as Greg Valentine. Valentine. Sounds like Mr. Anderson. Genuinely. Kathy Lee Crosby wasn't half as annoying as Susan St. James, so we'll give her that one. Back to New York, speaking of which, where Vince and Susan talk about the LA portion of the show. Susan is absolutely convinced that Hogan will win the main event. The fact that he has broken ribs is irrelevant. She just, Vince keeps trying to say, yeah, but what about this? And she's like, no, Hogan's winning. Hogan's winning. Hogan is going to win. Hogan's going to win. So, lastly, on to LA, and it's Gorilla Monsoon, Alfred Hayes and Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, the alter ego of one Cassandra Peterson. She's so damn pretty, it's fucking scary. I like goth girls, always have. She is a fucking vampire. She looks amazing. Ricky Steamboat defeating Hercules Hernandez in a poor match. Speed versus power. You can't go wrong with this one, can you? The crowd adore Ricky Steamboat. Steamboat looks... Place your bets. Every fucking bit I do. I mean, everyone. Just one. Go on, where are you? Disturbing me in my vids. Ambulance, bottom corner, obviously. Steamboat is smooth and crisp. He works the arm like a boss and he looks great. Herc, on the other hand, looks sloppy, doesn't bother selling the arm at any point and is clearly being carried by a vastly more talented wrestler. Piss off. Come on. It's the ambulances for me. It's because any second now a bunch of Americans going to bust through. What are you saying about our military? With fucking guns pointing out. Hercules does have a truly amazing afro though, so we're almost tempted to let him off. He goes up top for a top rope nothing, which of course has a predictable effect and allows Steamboat to get a crossbody off the top to get the win at 7:19. Better than I was expecting, but not much. Call it 1 star if you're nice. The lack of selling of the arm means I can't go any higher. I just can't. Oh mate, worst match of the night. Adrian Adonis defeating Uncle Elmer in a fucking awful match. Elmer gets entrance music. He's one of the few men on this card who does. He's also quite big. He beats on Adonis in slow motion. At one point, he hits a punch, right? He goes to punch, punches, and falls on his arse. And you start going, this is atrocious. He misses a leg drop. This allows Adonis to go up top and hit a splash. Two back-to-back splash wins, get the win at 3 minutes and dead. Amazingly, it's our first, and it's our only -star match. This is awful, guys. This was offensive. That's what we do when we go minus. -2 stars. Fucking awful. Alfred Hayes talks to Hogan because, of course, we only heard from him once tonight already, which is just strange. Hogan no-sells his rib injuries and talks about how Hulkamania will live forever and how he's going to win tonight. Cheers for that one. Terry and Hoss Funk defeating, that's a weird name, defeating Tito Santana and the Junkyard Dog in an alright match. Hoss Funk is Dory Funk Jr., you know, the 2-time NWA champion. Fuck it, we'll change his name. Heels beat on Tito until he can get a nice drop suplex. Sorry, drop suplex? The fuck is that? A drop kick, I was meant to say. How that transitions into a drop suplex, I've not one clue. JYD in. He beats on Funk, Tito in. He gives out beats. This is a big surprise as again the face in peril just doesn't seem to be, oh wait, Jimmy Hart's distracted Funk, sorry, distracted the ref so the Funks can double team Tito and now he's your face in peril, obviously. Hurrah, he gets beats, but he does manage a suplex, so Hoss is always like, yo, you call that a suplex? This is a suplex, butterfly suplex, and it's perfect. And you go, yay, I like that. Hot tag to Junkyard Dog. He backdrops Terry Funk over the ropes, which is a manly bump. And if that's not enough, he then slams him onto the table. It's a 1980s thick-ass table, and it goes, fuck, breaking, I ain't doing that. He whacks Hart to a big pop, Jimmy Hart that is. Referee's distracted by Tito trying to stop the Funk double-teaming Junkyard Dog, so Terry Funk gets Jimmy Hart's megaphone, clocks him with it, gets the win. 3 counts at 13 minutes dead. Surprisingly entertaining match. And it's completely different formula to the other tag team match, so it's good. I like that. So, much left of the show, yes. Why is there so much left of this show? Well, of course, we've got to erect the cage. The blue cage makes its debut. This is a reinforced cage, because they used to use the wire mesh cage, and it's the belief that if Hong Kong Bundy goes into the wire mesh, he'll just go straight through it, because he's so goddamn big. I suppose that makes sense. we go to see a clip on Saturday night's main event from Bundy attacking Hogan, hitting 2 avalanche splashes in the corner, and then these are assisted by Heenan, which is great. Basically, as Bundy comes charging across the ring, Heenan sort of grabs him around the back and throws him that little bit more. That's a lovely little touch, that really is. He then does a pair of normal avalanches on Hogan, breaking his ribs or something. So now we go to the back where we are talking to Alfred Hayes, is where we're interviewing Hogan, because Hogan hasn't had enough interviews yet. Here's the 3rd interview, and this one shows just what a fucking nutcase he is. He's lifting weights. He's got a great big iron bar that he's picking up and putting down, picking up and putting down with his ribs tape. My ribs are here. You can see my ribs are here. His tape is round his navel, and you start going, I don't know how that one works one bit. We hear from a doctor who says that Hogan should never wrestle ever again, and if he does, it'll get permanent injuries off it. Hogan is so fucked up by his rib injuries that he puts a 100-pound weight around his neck and starts doing chin-ups. And you sat there going, right, so this whole injured rib storyline is a load of shit, isn't it? Why should I care about you or your injured ribs? Back to we hear from Bundy. He says that he's the guy, and that Bundy Mania will run wild. We go back to New York, where Susan St. James doesn't say off uh-oh, but she does laugh off Bundy Mania. No, Hogan's winning. Hogan's winning. Hogan is winning. So I've got absolutely no reason to care about this match one bit, because they've got a nice framework for the storytelling. Yep, work the ribs. That's all you need to do. But Hogan doesn't give a fuck about the ribs, and Susan St. James doesn't give a fuck about the ribs. So why should I care? Tell me that. Hulk Hogan defeated King Kong Bundy in a cage match. Why has Bundy got no eyebrows? Why is that? Is that part of the gimmick? Tommy Lassiter is the ring announcer. He's a baseball player, apparently. Ricky Schroeder is timekeeper. No idea. Wait, he was in 24, wasn't he? So I know of him. And Robert Conrad is your special guest referee. And again, I'm sorry, I have no idea who these people are. I've not got one clue. Escape is the only option here, which I like. Hogan lays in the beats. Lots of beats, but Bundy's soon gaining control. Slowly, he tries to escape. Hogan stops him. Bundy rams Hogan back first into the cage, like that one. He follows by pulling the tape off Hogan's ribs, like I say, the one that's round his navel, and choking him with it. He tries to escape. Again, Hogan stops him. Hogan rams Bundy head first into the cage. And Bundy, they show the fucking close-up of him. And you've got sort of Heenan sort of patting him on the head. And all the while, you can see he's got a hand like this. And he's doing this. He's moving his head left and right. And he's sat there going, oh, I wonder what he's doing. Second most obvious play job of the night. And predictably, yes, he's busted him open. Into the cage 3 more times, and Hogan chokes on the ropes. He tries to slam, but the ribs give way. Ribs give way. So, if you'd actually made a point of selling... Oh, never mind. So he chokes with the tape while Bundy gets a pair of avalanches. One in the corner, one on the mat. Bundy tries to escape. Again, Hogan stops him. Another corner avalanche. Hogan gets a power slam, believe it or not. Hayes calls it a scoop slam. So maybe, just maybe, I've been a bit harsh on Michael Cole all these years for calling it a scoop slam, because he's clearly got it from Hayes. Hogan drops a leg and escapes the cage to win the match at 11 minutes dead. It's okay, it's nothing special. The crowd seem to really like it. And then Bobby Heenan gets beats inside the cage just because he can. There we go. And that's your show. Jesse's Body Ventura is not a good play-by-play man. He is a fucking wonderful colour guy. He should not be in this position. He really isn't. A little interesting little snippet for you. According to the True Story of WrestleMania DVD, the Pittsburgh didn't get the signal, so the signal even, so didn't get to see the show. The WWF had to show the show for free at a local independent TV show a few days later to appease some very angry fans. What was the point in most of these celebrities being on the show? Claire Peller is the absolute pits. I have not one clue. I mean, it must be in Vince's mind. Look, a celebrity, even a minor one, is still a celebrity. We can cram WrestleMania full of celebrities. So they have someone like her on who doesn't contribute anything at all to this product even. It's better than WrestleMania 1. It only just though. I mean, it really is. I rated WrestleMania 1 3 out of 10. If you actually look on my actual star ratings, I actually gave it 2.5, and I wanted to say it's better than WrestleMania 1, but it isn't. It's about the same. It's about as good. It's one of those shows that the only reason that you have got, folks, to watch this show is if you're doing one of these things that people seem to do most years, and that's I'm going to watch WrestleManias in order. All right, so you start from 1 and you go through to the current one. People do seem to do that a lot. if you're doing it that far enough, don't go and watch this show. I would avoid this one at all costs, because it's like there's very little good on it. The 2 tag matches are alright, but at the end of the day, neither of them will go out of your way to see these matches. The rest of the card is garbage. I mean, 8 of the 12 matches come in at half a star or worse. That should speak volumes about it. I can't go any higher than 2 out of 10. I genuinely can't. It's one of those shows, like I say, watch it once and you won't watch it again for a long time. I mean, like I said in the video, I haven't watched this show for at least a decade. At least a decade. I mean, I won't be watching it again for a very long time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you enjoyed this WrestleMania 2 review. Let me know if you did down below. What did you think of WrestleMania 2? I would love to hear from you. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Check me out on Facebook and check me out on Twitter, where I tweet random things. I've been Marc P. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Take it easy, guys.